भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। ॐ अज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णहस्ताय प्रभुपादते प्रिय श्री गिरिराजाय स्वामी सुभक्तदास बिहारी धनते नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णहस्ताय श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी जी नामे नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणी। अंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणम्। गोविंद। All right, so we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 14, in text 37, is it? 39? Oh, 39. 38? 38 is over? Yes. Yeah, we've done 38. So we're on 39. Yadidam yuganu sasanam navaetad avarundhate yanyastad. Saintly persons who are friends to all living entities have a peaceful consciousness. They have controlled their senses and minds, and they easily attain the path of liberation, the path back to Godhead. Being unfortunate and attached to the miserable material conditions, a materialistic person cannot associate with them. So let's read this again. Saintly persons who are friends to all living entities have a peaceful consciousness. They have controlled their senses and minds, and they easily attain the path of liberation, the path back to Godhead. Being unfortunate and attached to the miserable material conditions, a materialistic person cannot associate with them. I think we've read that earlier. Prabhupada speaks about that also. The great Saint Jad Bharat described both the miserable condition and the means to get out. So that's what this path of enjoyment is a long description of how what we do in this world, how we get entangled, it's like the hatred, the love, the hatred, the misery, the happiness, everything. And then Jad Bharat is saying there is a path out. What is that path? It is association with devotees, right? And earlier it said that even though they come, again they go back. Again they go back. So they're trying, but again they go back. So they lose a chance. So the great Saint Jad Bharat described both the miserable condition and the means to get out. The only way out of it is association with devotees, and this association is very easy. All the unfortunate people also get this opportunity. Due to their great misfortune, they cannot take shelter of pure devotees. And consequently, they continuously suffer. Nonetheless, this Krishna consciousness movement insists that everyone take to this path by adopting the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The preachers of Krishna consciousness go from door to door to inform people how they can be relieved from the miserable conditions of material life. As stated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Guru Krishna Prasadi Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. By the mercy of Krishna and Guru, one can get the seed of devotional service. If one is a little intelligent, he can cultivate Krishna consciousness and be freed from the miserable conditions of material life. So that little intelligence is very hard to get, right? Extremely hard. Because this material world is so tempting. The world of glamour is so attractive. I think we read in the second canto, it says that this material world, this Maya Shakti, the smile of the Supreme Lord. So can you imagine when Vishnu smiles? Right? When Vishnu, Mohini, right? Mohini, she smiled. She completely bewitched those asuras. So this material world is bewitching. Why? Because we feel it's just within my reach. It's just there. I can reach out, I can get it. So it's like gambling, you put little money, you get more, right? Then you say, okay, put more, right? You put more and more until you gamble away your entire properties. So this is exactly what we are doing in this world. So if you become human being, right? Brahmananda Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jeev. You are greatly fortunate. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. It's just there. It's just there for you to take. I was just saying, I was reading this Garud Puran. And so it will come also here. I don't know whether in third canto we read it or we here. Anyway, we've been reading about it so many places. So there's agent Yamudut, they're saying, you know, you got the opportunity, you didn't take. So this soul is like tortured. And I also read, repentance is not sufficient when you're down there on the road with the Yamudut. It's not only that, oh, I regret, oh, I repent, I didn't do. No, you do. Like we say, actions speak louder than words. You know, how many devotees like this? They come, they take, they go, and they repent. Oh, why did I do this? Why? No. Prabhupada says bhakti is devotional service. Do something. You have to do something. You have to show Krishna that you really mean to serve him, because if you don't serve him, then you serve Maya. Right? There's only two. Either you spend your time serving Krishna or you spend that same time in serving Maya. Maya is very attractive. It just captures you, hold you in her grip and make you believe everything is nice and happy, even when you're suffering. Text 40. Yadapi digi bhaya jaino yajvino yeve rajarasya kim tu param vridhe shayirannasyameva mameyamiti krita vairanu vishejya swayam upasamritaha. There were many great saintly. Let me just check if it's. Yeah, okay, I think it's on. There were many great saintly kings who were very expert in performing sacrificial rituals and very competent in conquering other kingdoms. Yet, despite their power, they could not attain the loving service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is because those great kings could not even conquer the false consciousness of I am this body and this is my property. Thus, they simply created enmity with rival kings, fought with them, and died without having discharged life's real mission. See, life is so short, right? It's so short. Meaning that while you're busy fighting your rivals, your life is gone. Right? Making your place in society, in your family, whatever it is, with so much struggling, your life is gone. The real mission of life for the conditioned soul is to re-establish the forgotten relationship with the Supreme Personality Godhead and engage in devotional service so that he may revive Krishna consciousness after giving up the body. One doesn't have to give up his occupation as a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, or whatever. In any position while discharging his prescribed duty, one can develop Krishna consciousness simply by associating with devotees who are representatives of Krishna and who can teach this science. Again, we're remembering Prabhupada's lecture this morning. He said this Krishna consciousness is a science. Right? So we need to learn how to practice it. Regretfully, the big politicians and leaders in the material world simply create enmity and are not interested in spiritual advancement. Material advancement may be very pleasing to an ordinary man, but ultimately he is defeated because he identifies himself with the material body and considers everything related to it to be his property. This is ignorance. Actually, nothing belongs to him, not even the body. By one's karma, one gets a particular body. And if he does not utilize his body to please the Supreme Person Godhead, all his activities are frustrated. The real purpose of life is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.13. Atta pumbhirdijashestah varnashrama vibhagasah sanishthasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. It really doesn't matter what activity a man engages in life. If he can simply satisfy the Supreme Lord, his life is successful. Text 41. Karmavalim avalambya tata apada kathanchit narakad vimuktaha punarapi evam samsara dhavni vartamano naraloka sartham upayati evam upari gatopi. When the conditioned soul accepts the shelter of the creeper of fruitive activity, he may be elevated by his pious activities to higher planetary systems and thus gain liberation from hellish conditions. So this fruitive activity is compared to a creeper. All right. So he's using a creeper to go to heaven so that he can escape hell. Because whoever takes birth in this world has to commit sinful activities. I'm just hearing a class by Bhakti Vikas Swami, He's doing this Vishnu Sahasraram, very nice. I will send it. I've sent it a few times, and it is really nice. Destroyer of sins, Vishnu, destroyer of sin. So he says, can anybody avoid sins? Can anybody avoid? Whether you like it or something, you just kill that machar, right? You don't mean to, you're not going to go around taking a gun and shooting anybody, right? But sometimes when this machar, is really bugging you, finish, right? Or you put on those machines, they die from that. Yeah. Who can avoid sin? So he's saying that when you're, especially now in the monsoon, he said when you're driving, suddenly your windscreen, is completely covered with insects. Suddenly covered. So what do you do? Say, how can you avoid sinful activities in this material world? After reaping, but unfortunately he cannot remain there, so he goes up. After reaping the result of his pious activities, he has to return to the lower planetary systems. In this way, he perpetually goes up and comes down. Here it is, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Brahmananda Brahmite kono bhagyavan jeev, Guru Krishna prasade pai bhakti lata beej, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 19.151. Even if one wanders for many millions of years from the time of creation until the time of annihilation, one cannot get free from the path of material existence unless one receives shelter at the lotus feet of a pure devotee. All right, so see, whoever has come to Prabhupada's charan, right, whoever it may be, whatever little bit they may have done. Remember the story of that mouse, in one temple, right? His tail or his mouth caught fire, and he was doing arti, right? Vishnu remembered. Remember, you offered arti, right? This is the description of whoever has a little bit of service for Krishna. Krishna doesn't forget, because Krishna is grateful, right? Krishna is grateful. Nectar of Devotion says one of the 64 qualities of Krishna, Krishna is grateful. As a monkey takes shelter of the branch of a banyan tree and thinks he's enjoying, the conditioned soul, not knowing the real interest of his life, takes shelter of the path of karma-kan, fruitive activities. Sometimes he's elevated to the heavenly planets by such activities, and sometimes he again descends to earth. This is described by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Brahmananda Brahmite. However, if by Krishna's grace one is fortunate enough to come under the shelter of the Guru, by the mercy of Krishna he receives lessons in how to execute devotional service to the Supreme Lord. In this way he receives a clue of how to get out of his continuous struggle up and down within the material world. Therefore, the Vedic injunction is that one should approach a spiritual master. The Vedas declare, Tad Vijnanartham Sagurum Eva Bhi Gachet. Mundak Upanishad 1.2.1.12. See, Prabhupada is describing the Vedic culture. Alright? Even one generation back in your family, everybody took Diksha, right? Everybody had a guru, whether he is a real guru, false guru, whatever it is, but everybody took Diksha. Even Prabhupada took Diksha. Then when he met Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, then he took proper Diksha, right? So this is a samskar. But it is not a namesake, right? Like I read in one of these books, maybe Bhakti Vikas Swami's book, I don't know, how, they have those gurus by hereditary, right? So what they do, once a year, they go door to door to all the disciples and they just collect dakshina. They collect dakshina. And he's very much appreciated, he's honored, everything he's given, everything, So, but this is not what Prabhupada, this is what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta came to give. He actually said, no, you definitely Brahmana has to accept dakshina, otherwise how they live. But there has to be shiksha, right? There has to be shiksha. If there is no shiksha, there is no guidance, you don't have right to accept from anybody. So here, meaning that everybody must accept a spiritual master, and spiritual master has to be bona fide. Similarly, in Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Person Godhead advises, Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinah. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.321 gives similar advice. Tasman gurum prapadyeta jigyasu shreya uttamam shabde parecha nishnatam brahmanyupashamashrayam. Any person who seriously desires to achieve real happiness must seek out a bona fide spiritual master and take shelter of him by initiation. The qualification of his spiritual master that he must have realized the conclusion of the scriptures by deliberation and be able to convince others of these conclusions. So see, meaning that if you are a spiritual master, meaning you have understood something, you have realized something, and you're able to convince somebody else to take it. It's not just an exchange of money, Like one day, actually I was in the US, so this devotee, two sisters, so they approached me, so they told me, to teach them Bhagavad Gita. And I forgot how I was supposed to do it. And then they told me, and I will pay you. Yeah. Then I say, no. No. Yeah. It's amazing. They were Indians. I don't know how they got that idea, And I will pay you. So, the qualification of his spiritual master that he must have realized the conclusion of the scriptures by deliberation and be able to convince others of these conclusions. So, what is the payment? The dakshina, right? From the disciple? Tell me what's the dakshina? What is the dakshina the Guru wants from the disciple?
To accept humbly the
They want the disciple to be convinced. Alright? Otherwise, they don't want anything. They don't want anything. They are doing Krishna's work. If you don't become convinced, right? And so, he must have realized the conclusion of the scriptures by deliberation, alright? And able to convince others of these conclusions. They don't work for money. Prabhupada didn't go to make money, right? He did whatever he did in order to convince people of the conclusions, right? Such great personalities who have taken shelter of the Supreme Godhead, leaving aside all material considerations, are to be understood as bona fide spiritual masters. So I read it again. So this is Guru. Such great personalities. So it says here, Tasmad Gurum Prapadyeta Jigyashu Shreya Uttamam. Shabde pare cha nishnatam brahmanyupashamashrayam. Such great personalities who have taken shelter of the Supreme Godhead, leaving aside all material considerations, are to be considered as bona fide spiritual masters. If you do not sacrifice, say the one major drawback with the congregation preaching, is that they don't sacrifice sufficient. It's like they want both. They want the spiritual world, at the same time they want the material world. Right? If you don't sacrifice, you won't get. You have to give up something, right? You see, like when the devotees, they joined Prabhupada, they gave up everything. Right? They gave up, number one, their youth. Right? The youngsters. They gave up their career. They gave up the inheritance. You just check. Everybody gave up the inheritance, right? Maybe they gave up their name and fame also. So much, and that's why they become very strong. And then, because they were young people, and then mostly, like we saw, mostly when they had to now enter into Grihastha ashram, they were very strong. They were very strong. And all of them, I would say 99% of them, got very well materially settled also. So byproduct, also some people became wealthy. Byproduct. Why? Because people saw, like they worked so much for the temple, people developed faith in them. When they started working themselves, say, yes, we can trust you. A few devotees like that, they became wealthy because the people say, yes, we know you're part of Hare Krishna. We have seen you, how you work, we can trust you. So they gave their work to them. This happens. So but these are byproducts. This wealth, bhukti. Bhukti that comes in the life of a renunciant, of a brahmachari, when they enter grihastha life, is simply a byproduct. And this should be used in Krishna's service. If it is not donated, then it will become galagrahi. Yes, this same wealth will strangulate our bhakti lata. Right? The King Ambarish, he used everything in Krishna's service. Right? So much so that a yogi, mystic yogi, became envious of him. Right? A renunciant, a mystic yogi became envious of him. Similarly, Vishwanath Chakravarti, a great Vaishnava, also advises, Yasya prasadat bhagvat prasadaha. By the mercy of the spiritual master, one receives the mercy of Krishna. This is the same advice given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Guru Krishna Prasadi Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. This is essential. One must come to Krishna consciousness, and therefore one must take shelter of a pure devotee. Thus one can become free from the clutches of matter. See, like we see here, whenever like a devotee passes away, so we have like a memorial. So what do we say? We give the list of what he has done, what she has done, right? This is what we are talking about. Your guru, actually, when a person dies right there on the spot, people start giving feedback. Right there. It's like I guess it's their record, right?
Future horoscope.
Yeah, future horoscope, as you're saying. Yeah. So it's read out in public. So whoever's taking the soul away hears. And which hall he will settle in for, his final decision. Right? So, Guru has to give their final signature. Devotees are so important. Blessings of devotees are so important. Right? That we say, yes, he has done, she has done. Guru doesn't just mean, this Diksha Guru. Guru means sadhu, right? They give. Now everybody will have, I saw this. Even if you didn't like somebody, even if you fought that person, when he does, you want to give it plus merit. I've seen that everywhere. Because say, devotees are well-wishers. Forget about whether I had this fight with that person, you said this, I said this. When the person dies, you want to give only the good report. Right? I've seen this everywhere. Everywhere I've seen this. Forget about the bad. So that let somebody else, deal with this. But the devotees, they will speak only of the good. Right? So this is essential. One must come to Krishna consciousness, and therefore one must take shelter of a pure devotee. Thus one can become free from the clutches of Maya, matter. Yeah. The soul is in the clutches of the material body. Right? 42. Sedam upagayanti arshābhasyeha rajarase manasapi mahatmanaha nanuvaranmarhati nripuh makshikeva garutmataha. Having summarized the teachings of Jad Bharat, Shukdev Goswami said, My dear King Parikshit, the path indicated by Jad Bharat is like the path followed by Garud. The carrier of the Lord and ordinary kings are just like flies. Flies cannot follow the path of Garud. And to date, some of the great kings and victorious leaders could follow this path of devotional service, not even mentally. So I was just speaking of Garud Puran, right? So here's ending with this. So it seems that this Garud Puran is very important, is it? It's very important. See it ending up with Garud Puran, meaning your death, right? I remember when Tama Krishna Goswami Maharaj, when he was leaving Mayapur, so he went and he paid obeisances to Garud. Actually, we all do. When we go to Mayapur, now with so much crowd, everything has become messed up. You don't know which is gate 1, 2, 3, 10, But otherwise, it was just an open area. You just go first thing. This is where you pay your obeisances to Garud. To Garud. Having summarized the teachings of Jad Bharat, Shukdev Goswami said, let me read it again. Tasya of Jad Bharat idam, this glorification, upagayanti, they sing. Arshabhasya of the son of Rishabdev, iha here, Raja Rishehe of the great saintly king Manasa api, even by the mind, Maha Atmanaha of the great personality Jad Bharat na Anuvarma Arhati, able to follow the path, Nripaha, any king, Makshika, a fly, Makhi, right? Makshika, Eva, like Garutmataha, Garutmataha of Garud, the courier of the Supreme Person Godhead. Having summarized the teachings of Jad Bharat, Shukdev Goswami said, my dear King Parikshit, the path indicated by Jad Bharat is like the path followed by Garud, the courier of the Lord, and ordinary kings are just like flies. My God, ordinary kings, because who is this king? Rahugan. Maybe on our name also there was queen someday, some birth, right? We don't know. Now we are, what are we? Right? Flies. Oh my God, what insult. Makshikeva, Makshi. Makshika. Somebody say you are just a fly. Will you ever dare say? You're just a fly? Oh my God. Such insult, somebody. And here Shukdev Goswami say ordinary kings are just. Oh my God. I think King Rahugan and Parikshit Maharaj also must be very humble, right? To take this. So the path followed by Garud. The path of Vishnu is the path of Garud. So I think it may be a good idea. Usually we chant, for this Ekadashi, but I read Garud Puran. Yeah, so now so many things I know. Yeah, so many questions that people ask us in ordinary dealings, in lives of householders, all the calamities that people do or happen, everything is in Garud Puran. And to date, none of the great kings and victorious oh my God. And to date, none of the great kings and victorious leaders could follow this path of devotional service, not even mentally. That's what we're talking about, right? It said in earlier verses, so many people come to Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada said, then they again become monkeys. Right? They go and join monkey people and they again become monkeys. Right? So to date, none of the great kings and victorious leaders could follow this path of devotional service. Not even mentally. Therefore, devotional service is sudurlabha. Right? Rarely achieved. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Manushyanam 7.3, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye, yatatam api siddhanam kaschid mam veti tatvataha. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection. And of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. See, I get so discouraged when, preaching, and we just see people saying hardly anyone takes. Then I feel, why am I wasting my time? Why am I doing? Why am I doing? Then I just remembered I read somewhere, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, if we don't preach, the world of atheists will increase. The world of atheists will increase. So what we are saying is that maybe they won't achieve that supreme destination, perfection, but at least they will have some theism. And I always wondered why Srila Bhakti Siddhanta was so disgusted, right? When we read, his biography, he was so disgusted by, all his disciples who were sannyasis, right? And they were fighting. They were after, so many, all the opulences that was coming to the Gaudiya Math. He was so disgusted. But he never stopped preaching. The next thing we saw, he's on the train out somewhere. I said, Param Guru, what are you doing? You're so disgusting. You're preaching, you're bringing sannyasis, right? He had a large followers of, grihastas also. Namhatta. Had the Namhatta and he had the Gaudiya Math. In the Gaudiya Math, so many things were going on. Still, he went off the next train to preach. I always wondered why did he do it, Still he is doing it. Then Bhakti Vinod Thakur, see his father. Every preacher experiences this, and here Shukdev Goswami is saying same thing. And Krishna is saying same thing hardly. So many try. They endeavor in this path, but very few, they achieve the ultimate goal. The path of devotional service is very difficult, even for great kings who have conquered many enemies. Say they talk loud, right? I have done this, but they can't practice devotional service. You tell them every day, come and put your head down. The lotus feet of Radha Ras Bihari, they can't, right? Their own home deities, do they do it? Right? Or only when they want something, then they go there, right? Right? They may have deities at home, but they will remember him only when they're in trouble. When they think their enemies are attacking them, then they will go running, right? And when they get defeated, they will go and criticize Krishna. Right? I don't know, I read that somewhere. He says, what? Oh, Mahabharata? I think Mahabharata, there. Say that this providence is always cursed. It's always, you do, and who gets the cursing? Right? You do everything. And who is cursed? It's always, your only work is to curse. When you need something, you come running to me, right? And when you're not satisfied, you give me gali, right? Continuously, everywhere, constantly we see this. You're going cursing. Why did he do? My son died. Why did God do this? I lost my money. I lost my wealth. I lost this. I lost that. Why did he do it? Why did you do? Right? What did you do? We ever think, what did you do? Right? Although these kings were victorious on the battlefield, they could not conquer the bodily conception. There are many big leaders, yogis, swamis, and so-called incarnations who are very much addicted to mental speculation and who advertise them as perfect personalities. But they are not ultimately successful. See, what happened is that even as devotees, you are they say you just have to stay in ISKCON and you become automatically senior. Because you start counting your number of years. Number of years. Yes. Yeah. I've been in ISKCON since 20 years, since childhood. Right? All right. So this is how, this is how these people are doing. So big leaders, yogis, swamis, and so-called incarnation, who are very much addicted to mental speculation, who advertise them as perfect personalities. So they think they're climbing the corporate ladder even in the spiritual, societies, right? They're climbing, man or woman, everybody does it, okay? So I'm a great senior devotee, right? I just heard Buddhijan Prabhu, He said that India is such a good place to sort out your false ego. Yeah. He said, because there's so many people here. There's so many people, that if you walk in a new temple, nobody knows who you are, right? You become one in the crowd.
So your false ego gone.
Yes. And so, one friend, she told me, I was just hearing yesterday, hearing the Buddhism Prabhu saying this. I remember. Actually, when we came to India, so my friend, we were joking. He said, in your temple, you are senior devotee. Here you are, who is this Chaturmukha Brahma? Who is this Chaturmukha Brahma?
So many answers. So many teachers. Brahma is there. Who is this Brahma?
Yeah, I just remembered this devotee, she told me a story, she said, now this Prabhupada's disciple, very senior Prabhupada disciple, preacher, whatever she is, number one. So she went to Mira Road temple. And the ladies are all sitting and doing flower garlands. So she walked in, they invited her, please come. Please come and sit. So she was telling me, on the spot, when you come to India, on the spot, your false ego gets sorted out to the right size. Yeah. I don't know why I said this. Oh, yeah, I was speaking about, how you think you're climbing only in your own circle. In your own circle. If you will ask me, who is the award winning in the Bollywood circle, I won't know. They are famous in their own circle. I won't know. The person may walk right next to me. I won't even know. Right? Everybody is known in their own circle. But their false ego make them believe they're great personalities and they have achieved perfection. Yeah. They advertise themselves as perfect personalities, but then when you start scratching, right? When you start scratching the false ego, you say, you don't know who I am. You don't know who I am, right? Why you make me sit here? I'm supposed to sit there, right? So, no success. This is the test. You spoke somewhere before about humility, right? I don't know where. You spoke of humility somewhere. I don't know where. About the... Anyway, whatever it is. Yeah, so, but they are not ultimately successful. The path of devotional service is undoubtedly very difficult to follow. But it becomes very easy if the candidate actually wants to follow the path of the Mahajan. In this age, there is the path of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who appeared to deliver all fallen souls. This path is so simple and easy that everyone can take to it by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Nam Eva Kevalam Kalo Nasti Eva Gatir Yanatha. We are very satisfied that this path is being opened by this Krishna consciousness movement, because so many Europeans and American boys and girls are taking this philosophy seriously and gradually attaining perfection. So here, got a few points. So the rare soul takes to Krishna consciousness. And it is very difficult for others, but it is easy for those who are ready to follow the instructions of the Mahajan. Right? And this is where we fail. All right? This is where we fail. Because after some time, the person who is guiding you, familiarity breeds contempt, right? Everybody knows this. That's why Guru will teach you and then will separate himself from the students. And whenever there is some need, and then again they will meet. But constantly living in the association of Guru is very risky. Very, very risky. You start to minimize them. And then you do what is said here. You can't follow the instructions. Then you're gone. You commit offenses, and it's all over. Oh my God, we're taking time. No, we must. Oh, it's 5:30. We'll complete. We'll complete this. Huh? Otherwise, we'll never finish. 43. Yudhishthyajan darasutan surit rajam. No. We forgot. Darasutan surit rajam ridisprishah jaho yuvaiva malavat utamashlokalasah. While in the prime of life, the great Maharaj Bharat gave up everything because he was fond of serving the Supreme Person Godhead, Uttama Shloka. He gave up his beautiful wife, nice children, great friends, and an enormous empire. Although these things are very difficult to give up, Maharaj Bharat was so exalted that he gave them up just as one gives up stool after evacuating. Such was the greatness of His Majesty. The name of God is Krishna because he is so attractive that the pure devotee can give up everything within this material world on his behalf. Maharaj Bharat was an ideal king, instructor and emperor of the world. He possessed all the opulences of the material world. But Krishna is so attractive that he attracted Maharaj Bharat from all his material possessions. Yet, somehow or other, the king became affectionate to a little deer, and falling from his position, had to accept the body of a deer in his next life. Due to Krishna's great mercy upon him, he could not forget his position, and he could understand how he had fallen. Therefore, in the next life, as Jad Bharat, Maharaj Bharat was careful not to spoil his energy, and therefore he presented himself as deaf and dumb person. In this way, he could concentrate on his devotional service. We have to learn from the great King Bharat how to become cautious in cultivating Krishna consciousness. A little inattention will retard. What is the meaning of retard? Make us late. Late. Delay. It's a French word actually. We retard our devotional service for the time being. Yet, any service rendered to the Supreme Person Godhead is never lost. That we already spoke. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhaya. 2.40 Bhagavad Gita. A little devotional service rendered sincerely is a permanent asset. Now look at this. Sincerely, right? With heart. We've done it. We took the trouble. When we call you, yes, you came running. Right? As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.17. Tyaktva swadharmam charanam bhujam hare bhajan apakothapatit tato yadi yatra kvabha bhadram abhutamusyakim kovatapto bhajatam swadharmataha. Somehow or other, if one is attracted to Krishna, whatever he does in devotional service is a permanent asset. Even if one falls down due to immaturity or bad association, his devotional assets are never lost. There are many examples of this. Ajamil, Maharaj Bharat, and many others. This Krishna consciousness movement is giving everyone a chance to engage in devotional service for at least some time. My God, just see what Prabhupada is saying. Prabhupada is not throwing his hook for too long time. He just say, sometime at least do little seva, right? That's why we keep on bugging everybody, do little seva. A little service will give one an impetus to advance and thus make one's life successful. In this verse, the Lord is described as Uttama Shloka. Uttama means the best and Shloka means reputation. Lord Krishna is full in 6 opulences, one of which is reputation. Aishvaryasya, Samagrasya, Viryasya, Yashasya, Shriyaha. Krishna's reputation is still expanding. We are spreading the glories of Krishna by pushing forward this Krishna consciousness movement. Krishna's reputation 5,000 years after the Battle of Kurukshetra is still expanding throughout the world. Just imagine how Krishna loves Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 10 years only, he left out the advertisement. Right? 50 years later, see how the advertisement is going on. Right? Every important individual within this world must have heard of Krishna. Who has made this every important individual hear about Krishna? Prabhupada. Especially at the present moment, due to the Krishna consciousness movement. Even people who do not like us and want to suppress the movement are also somehow or other chanting Hare Krishna. They say Hare Krishna people should be chastised. Such foolish people do not realize the true value of this movement. But the mere fact that they want to criticize, it gives them a chance to chant Hare Krishna, and this is its success. Okay, we have 3 verses more. Do you want to complete it? You have time? 3 verses. Let's complete this. Yodusya ksheti sutta swajanarthadaran artyam shriyam suravare sadayavalokam nechandripastad uchitam mahantam madhudvi sevanurakta manasam abhavopi phalguhu. Shukdev Goswami continued, my dear king, the activities of Bharat Maharaj are wonderful. He gave up everything difficult for others to give up. He gave up his kingdom, his wife, his family. His opulence was so great that even the demigods envied, yet he gave it up. It was quite befitting a great personality like him to be a great devotee. He could renounce everything because he was so attracted to the beauty, opulence, reputation, knowledge, strength and renunciation of the Supreme Person, Godhead Krishna. Krishna is so attractive that one can give up all desirable things for his sake. Indeed, even liberation is considered insignificant for those whose minds are attracted to the loving service of the Lord. This verse confirms Krishna's all attractiveness. Maharaj Bharat was so attracted to Krishna that he gave up all his material possessions. Generally, materialistic people are attracted by such possessions. Ato griha kshetra sutapta viter janasya mohoyam aham mameti. This is the same Canto 5.5.8. One becomes attracted to his body, home, property, children, relatives, and wealth. In this way, one increases life's illusions and thinks in terms of I and mine. The attraction for material things is certainly due to illusion. There is no value in attraction to material things, for the conditioned soul is diverted by them. All right. Why is it that it is no use being attracted by material things? Why? Why? So what does it do to us? Yeah, it diverts us. When we accumulate all this wealth, position, etc., dhanam, janam, sundarim, right? When we accumulate all this stuff, we become diverted from the path of devotional service. One's life is successful if he's absorbed in the attraction of Krishna's strength, beauty, pastime as described in the 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam. The Mayavadis are attracted to merging into the existence of the Lord. But Krishna is more attractive than the desire to merge. The word abhavaha means not to take birth again in this material world. A devotee doesn't care whether he is going to be reborn or not. He is simply satisfied with the Lord's service in any condition. That is real mukti. Iha yasya hare dasya karmana manasa gira. Nikhilas vapi api avasthasu jivan mukta sa uchate. One who acts to serve Krishna with his body, mind, intelligence, and words is a liberated person even within this material world. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.187. A person who always desires to serve Krishna is interested in ways to convince people that there is a Supreme Person of Godhead and that the Supreme Person of Godhead is Krishna. That is his ambition. It doesn't matter whether he is in heaven or in hell. This is called Uttama Shloka Lalasa. See, actually there is so much in every purport, but I'm not discussing. So many things are coming to my mind that I'm not discussing. And read over, think, all right, and listen to. There's so many devotees who are teaching. Text 45. No, it's not the proper one.
This is the.
No, this is not the proper. No, it's not fitting. It's not fitting. It's not fitting. It's not fitting. Yasya yagya dharma pataye vidhinay punaya yogaya sankhya shirase prakritishvaraya Narayanaya haraye mama ityudaram hasyam vrigatvam apiha samudad jahara. Even though in the body of a deer, Maharaj Bharat did not forget the Supreme Person Godhead. Therefore, when he was giving up that body of a deer, he loudly uttered the following prayer. The Supreme Person Godhead is sacrifice personified. He gave the results of ritualistic activity. He is the protector of religious systems, the personification of mystic yoga, the source of all knowledge, the control of the entire creation, and the super soul in every living entity. He is beautiful and attractive. I am quitting this body, offering obeisances unto him, and hoping that I may perpetually engage in his transcendental loving service. Uttering this, Maharaj Bharat left his body. Which body? Which body? Yeah. Yeah. In the body of an animal. All right? In the body of an animal. Why did he make this prayer, according to you? Why did he make this prayer?
उनको याद था ना कि
Yeah?
ये गलती किया है, आसक्ति हो गई मृग के शरीर में और मेरी भक्ति.
Very, very important for us. He's praying, bring me back to human, right?
So I did.
I have fallen in the body of a deer and my devotional practice got cut. Right? My devotional service got cut. When we leave our body, do we know whether we have perfected our devotional service? We don't know. Right? Even though we may not take birth again here, maybe somewhere, maybe Dhruvalok, right? Some intermediate planets where, but Earth is better. Actually, we heard Vrindavan, right? In the holy place, you take birth, you get more opportunity, right? The entire Vedas are meant for understanding of karma, jnana, and yoga, fruitive activity, speculative knowledge, and mystic yoga. Whatever way of spiritual realization we accept, the ultimate goal is Narayan, the Supreme Person Godhead. Ante Narayan Smritihi. The living entities are eternally connected with him via devotional service. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Ante Narayana Spritihi. The perfection of life is to remember Narayanan at the time of death. Although Maharaj Bharat had to accept the body of a deer, he could remember Narayanan at the time of death. Consequently, he took birth as a perfect devotee in a Brahman family. You understood? He didn't go back home, back to Godhead. He remembered Narayan at the time of death. He didn't go back. Punishment is such that he could have perfected when he left his kingdom. He didn't. He became a deer. From deer body, he had to again take a human body. This is how difficult it is to practice devotional service. At the same time, saying there's no loss, right? Sarva apyasya dharmasya. Yeah. Mahatyo bhaya. Whatever little bit, there is still hope. Krishna says you will continue to progress. He didn't go back home, back to Godhead from the deer body. No. He had to take birth. And earlier Prabhupada said he was punished. He was punished for his deliberate negligence. Alright? So all of us who are here, right? Punishment is going on. Right? This confirmed the statement of Bhagavad Gita 6.41. Shuchinam shimatam gehe yoga brashta bhijayate. One who falls down from the path of self-realization takes birth in a family of brahmanas or wealthy aristocrats. Although Maharaj Bharat appeared in the royal family, he became neglectful and took birth as a deer because he was very cautious. Within his deer body, he took birth in a Brahman family as Jad Bharat. How was he cautious? You remember? Deer body, he was very cautious. What did he do?
He was just sitting.
Huh? Yeah, he left his family. Alright, he left his family, deer family. He didn't want to, mix around with them. Right? What will the other deers do? What will eating, sleeping, mating and defending, right? That's what they will do. He left and he went where he was in that ashram, he went back there. And the sages must have understood this is a special deer. Right? But lucky they didn't fall down. Right?
Otherwise, Obi deer kills me.
Understood? They allowed him to stay there. But they didn't go and pat him and feed him and forget their devotional service. Otherwise, where would be that deer today? Because he was very cautious within his deer body, he took birth in a Brahman family at Jad Bharat. During this lifetime, he remained perfectly Krishna conscious and preached the gospel of Krishna consciousness directly, beginning with his instructions to Maharaj Rahugan. In this regard, the word Yogaya is very significant. The purpose of Ashtanga Yoga, as stated by Madhvacharya, is to link or connect with the Supreme Person Godhead. The goal is not to display some material perfections. Text 46, last verse. Hari Bol. Yaidam bhagavat sabhajita vadata guna karmano rajarshe bharatasyanucharitam swastyayanam ayushyam dhanyam yashasyam Swargapavagyam vanusrinoti akyasyati abhinandati cha sarva eva shisha atmana asastena kanchana parata iti. Devotees interested in hearing and chanting Shravanam Kirtanam regularly discuss the pure characteristics of Maharaj Bharat and praise his activities. If one submissively hears and chants the all-auspicious Maharaj Bharat, about the all-auspicious Maharaj Bharat, one's lifespan and material opulences certainly increase. One can become very famous and easily attain promotion to the heavenly planets. You want that? Or attain liberation by merging into the existence of the Lord. Whatever one desires can be attained simply by hearing, chanting, and glorifying the activities of Maharaj Bharat. In this way, one can fulfill all his material and spiritual desires. One doesn't have to ask anyone else for these things, for simply by studying the life of Maharaj Bharat, one can attain all desirable things. The forest of material existence is summarized in this 14th chapter. The word bhavatavi refers to the path of material existence. The merchant is the living entity who comes to the forest of material existence to try to make money for sense gratification. The six plunderers of the senses: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, touch, and mind. The bad leader is diverted intelligence. All right, the bad leader. Remember how Bharat Maharaj fell down? By diverted intelligence. Intelligence is meant for Krishna consciousness, but due to material existence, we divert all our intelligence to achieve material facilities. Everything belongs to Krishna, the Supreme Person, Godhead. But due to our perverted mind and senses, we plunder the property of the Lord and engage in satisfying our senses. The jackals and tigers in the forest, or our family members in the herbs and creepers, or our material desires. The mountain cave is our happy home, and the mosquitoes and serpents are our enemies, the rats, beasts, and vultures, or different types of thieves who take away our possessions. And the Gandharvapur is the phantasmagoria of the body and home. The willow whips is our attraction for gold and its color, and material residence and wealth are the ingredients for our material enjoyment. The whirlwind is our attraction for our wife, and the dust storm is our blinding passion experienced during sex. The demigods control the different directions, and the cricket is the harsh words spoken by our enemy during our absence. The owl is the person who directly insults us, and the impious trees are impious men. The waterless river represents atheists who give us trouble in this world and the next. The meat-eating demons are the government officials, and the pricking thorns are the impediments of material life. The little taste experienced in sex is our desire to enjoy another's wife, and the flies are the guardians of women, like the husband, father-in-law, mother-in-law, and so forth. The creeper itself is women in general. The lion is the wheel of time, and the herons, crows, and vultures are so-called demigods, pseudo swamis, yogis, and incarnations. All of these are too insignificant to give one relief. The swans are the perfect brahmanas, and the monkeys are the extravagant shudras engaged in eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. The trees of the monkeys are our households, and the elephant is ultimate death. Thus, all the constituents of material existence are described in this chapter. Lifetime after lifetime, we are in this, and we are very happy, right? You're happy to be there. can see how the mind is the own enemy, right? Mind is such an enemy that it captures us and makes us go through all this. Because we are enjoying little rasa. Anyway, let's make sure we complete our study of Bhagavatam, that we are here every week, that you're listening to other classes also. You can join now. I've sent you some courses that's running. But don't miss this one. All right. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. My knee is not going to bend. Oh, Govinda. Govinda. Hare